Amid a methamphetamine pandemic, a dirty war's erupted, sanctioned by the Philippines' new president. His orders to his people and his police: kill them, make my day. Midnight in Manila, and a vigilante hitman's taken out a suspected shabu dealer, the local term for crystal meth. We chase through the dark streets, a gun battle with cops reported down the road. In the 7 weeks since Rodrigo Duterte was sworn in, more than 1,900 people have been gunned down, a third by police, two-thirds by unknown balaclavaed killers. They call their president Duterte Harry. They like his style. The press can't get enough.
This is a legitimate bypass operation.
The police, licensed to shoot to kill, defend their operation but don't say much. 2 teenagers, he said, known druggies. They had been warned. Some hits are caught on CCTV, but the killers are never caught. Duterte vowed he would exterminate the scourge. There will be blood, he said. It wasn't bluster. Prisons are crammed with more than 600,000 addicts who've surrendered, fearing they'd be next, and 10,000 who've been arrested. Rehab facilities woefully inadequate. Jenilyn O'Leary's partner, Michael Sharon, was murdered by gunmen on a motorbike 4 weeks into Duterte's Operation Double Barrel. The president mocked these photographs as a parody of the Virgin cradling Jesus body. Michael had occasionally smoked shabu and had been warned by police, his broken-hearted partner told me. He'd actually voted for Duterte. This afternoon, Jenilyn went to Michael's grave with his father and his sister. She told me she feels crippled.
I couldn't think of anything else to do but to cradle him. To find out if somehow he might still be breathing, and whether we could still save him. I just wish these killings would stop. If only his death had ended all this. He's gone. He cannot speak for himself anymore.
Davao City, Mindanao, in the archipelago's far south. Davao's Duterte's city. He was mayor here for 22 years. Davao was his laboratory, his testing ground for tactics he's now deploying nationwide. The Harvest Festival is in full swing. Colonized by Spain and then the US, this mostly Catholic country feels like a little bit of Central America stuck on the wrong side of the Pacific. The drugs war and the reported arrival of a Mexican cartel has given that parallel an extra bit of edge. But it's actually President Rodrigo Duterte who has brought to the Philippines the darkest of Latino shadows, the death squad. And he did it first in Davao. During his time as mayor here, death squads meted out summary executions with impunity. Criminals, drugs dealers, street children were neutralized, to coin a Duterte term. Still, the man they also call the Punisher is wildly popular down here, but not with everyone. 4 of Clarita Alia's 6 children were murdered by the Davao death squads. First, Richard, who was 18. 3 months later, Christopher, 16. And 3 months after that, 14-year-old Bobby. 5 years went by before they killed Fernando, who by then was 15. Clarita claims the Davao police told her that her boys were on their hit list. She blames Duterte for their deaths.
I saw this coming. I warned the people he would do this nationwide. It really hurts me because it started with my sons. It saddens me that they are doing this everywhere now. We have to get rid of the drugs, not kill the people.
Rodrigo Duterte, whose daughter is now the mayor, claims he cleansed this place of violent criminals, but today Davao remains the murder capital of the Philippines. Philip Dizon is a Davao tycoon and best friends with the former mayor. I met him at his crocodile farm.
Even though he's not hungry, he will eat you, because he is a predator. He is a opportunistic predator.
Crocodiles, he told me, get a bad press.
You think the crocodile has been demonized,
Yes,
and actually they're very good at getting rid of all the bad stuff.
yes.
What does that remind you of?
Me and the president.
Is he a violent man?
But he doesn't seem to have a problem in killing people who he considers pests and a nuisance.
Well, not pest criminals. People that hurt other people must be hurt first before they hurt other people.
So is he misrepresented and misunderstood?
I believe so. This is simply cleaning up the house. That's it.
Late that night, the president called a news conference. He turned up at 1:15 a.m. and spoke for 2 hours in defense of his war on drugs.
My job as president is to protect the innocent, law-abiding citizens. I was never tasked by any law to protect the life of criminals.
He lashed out at his critics at home and abroad, even threatening to pull the Philippines out of the UN, which has branded his war a crime under international law.
At the risk of being shot down, the numbers of people who have been killed on the streets of the Philippines since you came to power 6 weeks ago have risen to around 1,000. Now, I know you have been contemptuous of your critics, but they are accusing you of unleashing a national death squad. Where is this going to end? Because some are saying that the social fabric of the Philippines is at risk here.
Good. That's a very good question. Because at the other past, in the distant past, no police was ever willing to really work and risk his life. So when I was mayor, I told them, go ahead, do your duty. But if you feel that you're in carrying out your duty, you will get killed. My God, shoot him first.
The Davao mayor turned president drove off in a pickup truck. Duterte Harry says it's straight and shoots from the hip. That's why they love him. Those who don't fear he's opened a Pandora's box.